Hey there, how you doing? My name is Anthony Gray. Welcome once again to Grayscale Painting. What we have here is 11 by 14 inch watercolor paper. I took a thin black marker and sketched out a few things here that we're going to paint, and we're going to have as background and foreground and midground materials, or not material, but just objects. Okay, very simple sketch. All right, we know that this is going to be a rocky foreground. You got a waterfall, and we got some greenery here, trees and whatnot, a little bit of sky back there. So relatively simple painting. It's just what you want to do with it. Okay, how much detail you want to put in it, and all that good stuff. But we're gonna get to getting. Okay, as you look down below here, what we do have is the glycerin shampoo mix I usually use. A lot of people ask questions about it. A little bit of water. I got water off camera, so you might see my head and arm bend over and rinse off my brush over in that area. And right in the back of me, I've got a pail with a rack in it where I can scrub the brushes pretty good. All right, we're gonna move right along here. So I'm gonna take my 2-inch flat brush. These are common brushes that I use a lot. I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna dip a little bit. If you come down here, I'm gonna dip a little bit into my mix. I don't need too much of this. All right, now we're gonna play around with some clouds and whatnot. We're just gonna coat, very thinly coat where the sky area will be. All right, I'm gonna use the same brush. I don't have any titanium white put down. I'm gonna put a little titanium white down. I forgot. The colors were already have been put up here, but I'm gonna say them anyway. All right, we do have burnt umber. If you look down here, burnt umber, cayenne blue. We have processed magenta, cad yellow, titanium white. All right. And we're going to work with those more or less. I'm going to put a little bit of white into the sky area. I'm just going to coat it with a little bit of white. That's all. Because once I put the blue in, the blue will mix in with the white that I placed down here. It keeps the glycerin keeps the paint wet. Okay. So you can do blending and whatnot. And we're going to just pop in some sky color. Now what I'm going to do actually is I'll work from the bottom, just like this, something like that, and I'll come across here a little bit. All right, now I'm going to go back over where I've placed, just like so, just like that. Come down on the bottom here, and that's it, something like that. All right, now this is a bigger brush, so I'm gonna come over here and rinse it off pretty good. I don't really have to use the rack for this, but I'm gonna use it anyway. Clean it up. I got paper towels down below. All right, now that I've done that with the clouds, I'm gonna get a little bit of white. Okay, just a little bit, and I'll tap it in here just a tad, and I'll wisp some clouds in there just like that. Just put them in there. Nothing special. Okay, get a little more corner of white. I'm gonna come over here on this side, just wisp them in there a little bit, and just, because it's not really a main focal point or anything, but just some play on clouds a little bit. And that's it, just like that. Blend it in, and just wisp a little bit of clouds, and leave it be, because it's not really the main focal point. And just, like I say, leave it be, you know. That's it. All right, now when you're doing painting, especially when your foreground objects are going to be a little bit darker than what's back there, sky, you can paint over it because it's going to be covered up with color, regardless. I got to cover it up because of the black marker I placed down there anyway. Okay, so, you know, we're working everything pretty much in stages. All right, now I can also take a little bit of the glycerin if I want the glycerin, and I can coat this here and get some of the blending of the trees and whatnot started. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the same brush and I'm just going to build a foundation color. All right, I'm going to take some of this cyan blue. I'm going to bring it down here, get a little bit of this cad yellow, put it right in there. Okay, now I got plastic down here, which is why you see it buckling up. I didn't tape it. Get a little bit of this umber and we're going to darken some of that up. It's going to gray green, make it a gray green color. Okay, now that I've done, I'm going to dip my glycerin into the mix. Okay, there's many ways you can apply the glycerin. So I'm putting the glycerin into the paint. Okay, and we're gonna kind of, I'm covering up the black marks. That's basically what I'm doing right now. Now, some of it may show, it may not show, it all depends. All right, then I'll just kind of wipe that in there. It's just a foundation color, like I said. It's got the glycerin on it. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna get some more cayenne blue, some more of the yellow, put it in there. Get a little bit of that umber. We're gonna gray it out a little. Still gonna be on the green side, but we're just gonna gray it down a bit. All right, and we're gonna continue on. This is just a foundation color, like I said, background color for all the foliage. Going into the falls a little bit, it's okay, just like so. Cover it all in there. I'll lightly bring it all downward, straight down. The looks of a forest back there. Because the paint's still wet, so I can maneuver it and have a little fun with her, just like that. Okay, different shades, different colors, different bits of whatever. I'll put some red in there too. The red, just like that. Put some red in there. And I'm gonna put a little bit of blue in there too. We're darkening it up a little bit. Up in the corners there, just like this. So it's a little bits of blue, little bits of red, got some green in there. Just like that. Put it right in there. We'll fine tune all of this a little bit later. Just various colors. Just like that. Okay. So you got some nice colors mixed in there. Okay. I'm going to take a little bit of, before I do that, let's clean off this brush. We're going to play around with some trees. These shapes of trees, the impression of trees in there. It's still going to get fairly dark. All right, I'm going to take a nice size fan brush here. All right, can you guys see that? All right. Now, look down here. Take a little bit of this brown. Get a little bit of blue in there. Get plenty of it. A little more blue in that. A slight hint of yellow. We're going to gray it up a little. Just like that. Now I'm going to take that. I'm going to dip a little bit of medium in here. Just prolongs the drying time. We're going to have a little fun. Okay. Here we go. Put some of this foliage in here. All right. And I'm going to do it just like so. Little bits of the woods in there. Darken it up a little bit. It's the tops of the trees back there. Don't make them even. Don't make toy soldiers out of these guys, okay? So don't do that. As we get up here, it's all right. Darken it up a little bit. Bring it in there like that. And just tap it in. Just like so. We're gonna get layers of trees popping off in there. We're gonna come down below. It's gonna get particularly dark by where the falls are. So you kind of want it dark down here in the bottom. And it also, what I'm doing, it frames in the falls, okay? And yes, I'm going right over the falls. It's fine. Don't worry about all of that. Bringing some of that dark in there. I'm not getting rid of all of what I've laid down. It won't be necessary. When we get to highlighting, you'll see what I'm talking about. And still going in one direction. Use up as much dark as you can, especially down here on the bottom. So I'm getting a little more brown. Look down here, getting a little more blue. Brown, blue, because basically I want to just fill that in, just like that. Some of that dark in there, just like so. Okay, almost looks a little wood-like already. Okay, it's just a massive bunch of trees in there. So what we're doing is getting layers of pine trees in there. Okay, I want to show you something while I'm thinking about it and while I'm at it here. Clean this brush off a little bit. There's a couple ways you can do what I'm about to show you. I'm gonna take a palette knife while the paint is still somewhat wet. Okay, and these guys are, they're little fellas in the background back there, so you can, add little, however you want to do it there. Because these are just guys in the background back there, stuff like that. You can put a few up there. It's all right. Make them straight, make them crooked, however you want to do it. Because we're going to have stuff in front of this too, so don't worry. But them guys are in the back there. All right. Okay. Just the start of things to come. All right. Now that we got that going, let's get a little bit of the blue. We're going into our yellow. Getting it green now. I'm also in, if you look down here, I'm also into the brown a little bit, just to deepen it, gray it a little bit. The slightest touch of white in there. And what it does is just brings out more of the gray color in that greenish brown mix I just put together. All right, let's put a few trees in here. Let's start over here on the far side, and we'll guide a couple. We'll guide one right here. We'll guide a couple that way. And we're gonna take it just like the Ross method here. Now my tape is coming off. It's buckling a little bit, but that's okay. And I'm gonna put some trees in there. This might appear to be a little dark for right now, but that's okay. We're gonna highlight all these guys, and we're gonna get the separation in there. All right. We're gonna add a few more. We're gonna come way up here. We're gonna do pretty much the same thing. Mash some trees in there. When I get the highlighting with a brighter green, you'll see what I'm talking about. All right. Let's. I can start to highlight some of these so you guys can see. I'm gonna just get a little bit of yellow, a slight touch of white, but just a little bit of yellow. I got green on the brush already, but you can see down here how bright it's looking. Okay. Remember, this acrylic paint dries flatter, so if it looks a little too bright, it will get dark on you. All right. Okay. Once again, we're gonna highlight a few of these. Give it kind of a tree look anyway, just like so. We'll come around on the side a little bit, just a couple touches. All right, get some foliage going. We're gonna separate these guys, trust me. Just getting some more. And we're gonna not necessarily fill out everything. The sun's hitting it in various spots. We're gonna separate a lot of these, so don't worry. You'll see how I separate it in a second. Okay. Let's take a little bit. Let's take this brown, a little bit of brown. I'm gonna flatten it out a little bit. Put a little white in there, marble it just a little bit, just like that. Okay, I got a little bit on there, and we're gonna add a couple of little little bit of branches in here. The kind of just like that. Get a little bit more. And we're gonna come in front here. We got one right here. Spread that out. A little more brown, a little bit more white. Marble it. Like I say, it might appear a little light, but only for a second. So we'll put a couple of those in there and we'll make these a little thicker. Just like that. Get this one and make it a little thicker here. Something like that. So you got a couple of those guys working its way down there. Just clean off this brush. All right. So you got a couple of those going on in there. I'm gonna get a smaller brush for some of the smaller trees in the background. All right. You do it a piece at a time, a part at a time. Get a smaller brush, much smaller. You guys can see this here. Much smaller brush. We're gonna get with some yellow. Need a little more yellow here. Hold on for a second. Still keeping in line with working from the back to the front. Get a little bit of this blue, pop it in there, that green a little. If I want it a little deeper, just get a little more blue, pop it in there. I don't necessarily want it that bright, so I'll dull this out a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's work on some of these guys back here. Oh, just a few. Oh, we'll put one right up in here. Just a couple of them. Just like that. Just the impressions of some of those guys back there. Okay. And we'll put one right up in there. Just a few. Oh, we'll pop in one right about here. Just like that. We're gonna get a couple more in here. Just like that, cover it right up there. Put some up in here like that. Put one more up in here. Just the impressions of the trees right now. Just like so. All right. We can brighten up some of those. Get a little bit of white. I did not take the green off. Okay. Now a thinner paint will work with a thick paint. So I'm gonna loosen up this paint a little bit. Once I loosen it up enough, all I need is a few taps. I don't have to press in. Okay, so with that in mind, just a couple touches. Okay. All right. Just like that, just a couple of them. We'll put some grass up in there too. Why not? And just like that. Couple back here. Don't have to be extremely detailed, just the impressions of these guys. All right. And if it appears to be too bright, remember, it darkens up. All right. So we got a little bit of that happening here. Just, you know, some wild stuff going on. Okay. All right. I'm checking it out. I'm looking. It always gives their appearance a little bit of fog and stuff going on back there. So we're good as far as that's concerned. Couple of more back in here. Just fill this up a little bit. Just like that. We'll keep the patch in there. Just like that. Put something happening here. Just a little bit of something. Something like that. All right. I'm looking at it. Pretty cool. Back there, everything's a little dark and a little secluded back there. So, don't nitpick. Don't putter around. If it's satisfactory, it looks pretty good. Keep it moving. All right. I don't have to really get much into detail with all of that. Okay, let's block in the falls. Remember, we're working from the back toward the front. All right. Let's work on the falls. We're gonna block in some of those falls. I'm just getting a brush, a flat brush here. This is a 1-inch flat. All right, short guy. Okay, let's look down here. Let's get some water going. I'm gonna still stick to the theme, the colors that I've already produced in the beginning of the video. So I'm going back to the ultramarine blue. I'll put it back here in the same spot. Doesn't matter. Underpainting the falls, I wanted a deep color, so it gives the waterfall some body. All right, so we're gonna go. I'm gonna still stick around in this kind of greenish area here. It's okay. A little bit of the magenta into that blue. I'm gonna purple it out a little bit. Now that's a little more on the red side. I want it a little more on the blue side. Let's get a little bit more, blue it out a little bit. Okay, it's got probably a little bit of glycerin in there, messing around in there, and that's fine. We're gonna block off the falls here. It doesn't really matter. This is just me blocking the falls off. All right, that's all I'm doing, blocking off the falls here. Blocking it all in. Flipping the brush around, I got more color. Now, for those of you who don't notice, I do have glycerin on the brush. Blocking, I'm just blocking in the falls, don't worry. If you do notice, I'm still going in the direction that the falls should be going in. All right, I'm just pressing down here, just covering up everything. I know the falls looking a little dark, right? But that's okay. Everything will make sense in a second or two. Get some of that blue out of there. There. There's a little body to your underpinning to the falls. Okay, all we're doing. All right, let's clean this off. Now, I've been doing this for a while, and I know how to, like say, I got the falls there, just to cover up the rock or whatever, but let's not do that. Let's do everything in order. For those of you who are kind of new, we're going to do it all in order. All right. This video, as you can see, may not take very long, but it's the technique that I'm showing you. That's the most important thing. We're going to go with a, what are we, a number 12 flat fan brush here. All right. All right. Now, I'm going to take some of this titanium white right now, dipping it into the brush. Look down here. I'm going into the purple blue, as you can see. A slight touch of the medium. All it's doing is thinning the paint down. This is not totally white because I got it with the purple bluish color in there. All right, it just thins the paint down. Let's work from over here. Usually you would have one shot at this. You're gonna take it, press, travel, bring it right down. Overlap a little bit, press, travel, bring it right down. That's all right. We're going to be going over it again. Keep going down with it. That's all right. Let it break up. Let it do what it's doing. All right. That's all right. Keep going. I'm turning the brush around, doing it with every little pass there. All right. Some of that dark is still in there. Just like so. All right. Just as you see. Okay. See how quick you can make a waterfall in the snap of a finger. All right. Okay. Just relax. Let it happen. It will happen. Just cleaning off the fan brush. We're going to go into our titanium white. I'm just going to pat it. As you look, I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to pat it to just pure titanium white. I'm just patting. All right. Okay. Do the same thing. If you want to work from this way, going that way, or back this way, really up to you. Okay. We're going to come out a little bit. Come on down. Okay. We're going to come out a little bit. Come on down. Come on down. Bring it on down. Just like that. Getting some more titanium white. Usually you would wipe off your brush after every pass, so you maintain that bright white. Up to you. All right, getting some more titanium white. Bring it right on down. And right here at the edge. You definitely need some more white for that edge there. Just like that. Just like so. All right. Okay. Let's get to that flat part up here. We'll kind of. All right. And we're going to come down a little more direct down here. Just like so. Just like that. Let it dry. I don't really need to add any more to that. So let it dry. Let's see what she looks like as she's drying. I want to put a little heavier waterfall a little bit down there. I might shade that in a little bit, the waterfall. I'm just getting a little more titanium white. I prefer titanium white because it's so opaque. It's my preference. It will handle a lot better than the mixing white, put it that way. All right. Like I said, I want it a little heavier. I want it a little more blue too. So I'm just tapping in some blue into this white. A little bit of blue. So different depths of water going over the waterfall. And we're going to put it down here. We're going to add a little blue in there. We're going to do a little bit here too. Get a little bit of that blue in there. Do it again. Especially here in this corner. Really blew it up there. Just like that. Get some colors going on in there. Different colors of the fall going in there. Okay. Now, as you're watching me do this, everything still looks a little bright. It looks bright because of all of that white you got here. This isn't making it any better, but it's because of that. Let's get rid of that scratch I put in there. There. I got a little scratch right there too. I did that. Make that disappear. Oh, that's not the scratch. That's the piece of the rock. But that's all right. We're going to cover all that up anyway. That rock is going to be the fun part, sweetheart. We'll let this settle a little bit because I'm going to add something else to this. Okay. So I'll run my mouth for a second while that kind of settles in. We're going to start on this fella in a second or two. Matter of fact, we can do it really right now. I'm going to color in the rock. Let's get a little bit of this umber. Okay, we'll pick a spot right here. It's all right. I'm getting a little bit of umber on this 2-inch brush here. I'm going to need some more umber by the time I'm done with this. A lot more umber. Get a little bit of red in the umber. Umber has more green in it. We can pop some blue in there. And we're going to darken that red up. I'm going to need a lot more. So hold on. I'm going to stick with the colors once again. I'm going to mix it right here. A little ultramarine. That's a lot of ultramarine. And I'm digging for my burnt umber. Get plenty of dark going here. That's a lot of blue. I put a little too much blue there, but we're gonna make use of that immediately. Don't need any red. Let's spread this plastic out a little bit. You guys should be able to see this. I'm just gonna mix it right in there. It's the umber and the blue right now. So look down here. That's what I'm mixing in. Get a little bit of red up in that piece, just like that. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna lay out the rock. Block that rock right in with this grayish color here. Okay, dokie then. Let's start laying up this rock. Boom. Right at the edge. Make it real craggy looking. That's all I'm doing. Getting that rock face happening. Okay. That's all I'm doing. Little peaks and whatever in that guy. Make it solid. Just like that. Get a little peak going in there. Just like that. And then we're going to take it. We're going to block all that in. All I want is dark. No more, no less. Just darken it right up. Just like that. All right. There. Just like so. All I want is a solid color right now. Don't worry about any streaks or anything like that. Completely dark. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. All right. I'm gonna try once again to remove my head from the spot. I'll put it here. Okay, let's get on to something pretty cool. I'll take a filbert brush here. All right. We're gonna come down here. We're gonna dip into a little bit of the white. It's almost like a dry brushing. A bit of titanium white. I'm gonna do it on both sides. As you can see, it's just the tip of the brush. And what I'm gonna do, it might be too much, but I'll wipe a little bit here on the bottom. You guys can't see it. I'll wipe a little bit off, paint off of the filbert. We're gonna get some mist going with some of these. I guess I'll start over here by the trees. And what I'll do is I'll just lightly put in some nice little mist here from the falls and all of that. So we'll cloud some of that in there. Go right off of the paper with it. I'm gonna come across the falls with it, and that's all I'm doing is I'm just tapping, as you can see, tapping the brush. All right, and I'm gonna just continue some of that red on. Some come up here a little bit. I'm just using the side of the brush, very little paint. Keep it as white as possible. Now doing this, all right, just be mindful of what you're doing, where you are with it. And I'm just creating, like I say, a nice little misty effect, dry brushing it on here. Now, the effect of the dry brush, all right, is that you can layer and layer and layer till you get the desired brightness you're looking for. Okay, that's basically it. Now I can tint this with a little bit of blue or whatever color to have it stand out a little more if I desire to, but I don't want to do that. I'll just keep misting it and layering it and layering it, whatever. But as you can see, as I'm doing it, I'm just creating little pockets of just a little mist and spray going on. And I will keep it, nothing to rush. Don't rush it. I'm going fast here because of, sake of time for the video. But you no doubt know that it is mist and spray going on down here. Put some down on the bottom here, and you can see that you still see bits of the tree detail and all of that good yumminess, as a buddy of mine would say. Okay, he would have some other colorful phrases too that I'm not gonna mention. But I'm going up past the falls a little bit. I'll keep it going upward. All this adds to, a little bit of realism in your painting and such. Fade it on out there. You can have it as strong as you want, as weak as you want. It's definitely up to you. All right, I'm gonna get some of this going in the center also. Just a little light touches of, just a little spray, a little mist going on here and there. Just like that, up into the trees a little bit. See? Harmless. So much fun. Adding a little bit of detail to your work. Just like so. Little spray over here down the bottom. All right, little cutesy things like that. Here's the back of my head here. All right. Put old filbert away. We're coming down the wire here with this. Let's go down here. All right. As you see, I got a nice bit of brownish gray built up here, and I'm just gonna tap. Now remember, the plastic is loose. I did that on my own. All right. Look at that. You see that? You see those little peaks there, we're going to use that for the rock up here. All right, now doing it this way, you can make the rock omnidirectional. You can do whatever texture you want with it. Okay, now I'll just give it a nice little tap. I won't drag it, just a couple of taps. Just like this. Okay, I'll go with the angles of it or whatever that may come with it, happen with it there. Just like that. If omnidirectional, you can have it point any which way, up to you. But I'm just getting some interesting rock textures happening here. And as the paint wears off, okay, I'll just tap a little bit more on there and keep it moving. We'll highlight some of these rocks too. And basically I'm just going down. I can curve it around like this, just like so. And I can correct it, bring some around, drag it around. That's all I'm doing, really, is adding little textures here and there to it, to the rock, just like that. All right, you don't have to use the whole brush or the whole palette knife if you don't want, up to you. Getting some interesting pockets of dark, like so. I'm gonna go around with a different color also. This is obviously the lit side of the rock. Okay, we're 95% finished with all of this, in case you're wondering. I'm just wiping off the bottom end of the palette knife. Use whatever size palette knife that's you're comfortable with. I'm just getting a little bit of white, what's left of the white. I'm just coming over here. I'm gonna need a little more white than that, because we're coming up on the final details. So I'll put it right here. It's all right. You guys should see that down there, bottom of the screen. La, 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 la. And I'm gonna mix a little bit of this gray in with that white. Let's marble it in, just like that. Pop it around. Okay, just like that. Same type of, if I can get a shadow to catch it there, right there, like that. All right, all right. Now, all I'm gonna do is we'll lighten up little bits and pieces of it there. And what's happening is that the paint is getting picked up from the previous paint. That's basically all it's doing. I'm just coming down here a little bit. I'll trail some of that down there like that. Usually on the front of the rock face there. Okay, a couple more taps here. As you get accustomed to doing these, it will become easier and easier to do these. All right, so have no fear, fret not. It will work for you, trust me. And it's really fun to do. Just relax, a little tap. Don't necessarily have to drag it, just a couple of taps. It'll pick off what it wants and leave you the rest, as Bob would say. Just like that, okay? We'll get a nice little curve around in here, like that. Like I say, I don't need to add too much to this. We'll get some refracted light, which means I'll pop in a couple shades of blue. I'll put it in, just a dot of blue will work. I'll put it in the dark areas. I might just use the blue by itself. I might not add anything in it. Okay, because like I say, it will dry darker. So it's just a little refracted light. I'm gonna go straight down with it. I'll just tap a few of these down here. It's just refracted light. It's like you'll see it, kind of, and you don't, not unless you really look at the painting. All right, you might catch some of these shadows here. And I'm just still doing the tapping. Okay, I'm only tapping in the front of the brush. It's all in the front of the brush. It's still got the little peaks to it. I'm using a heavy body paint too. That also helps. Okay, so in case you're wondering, it is a heavy body paint that I'm playing around with here. And I don't want to add too much to it. Like I said, this stuff will dry up. It will appear darker. All right, but as you see, I'm building it up, going in layers still. All right, and we're almost done with this. The dark part of it is what I'm trying to do. This is very effective painting, very quick. You don't have to spend a million years on the painting to get it to look the way you want or get the desired effect. I'm just giving you a technique. If you want to delve more into it, into finer details, you got all the time in the world to do such that such thing. All right, now it's showing up bright blue because of the side light also, so keep that in mind, that I got a couple of lights shining on this painting also. All right, and remember, it's going to get a little darker, okay, as it dries. It's still fairly wet. Okay, I don't see me really adding too much to this. I think I'm going to tease some more dark areas within the falls themselves. So I do have a little bit of water. The paint that I have here might be still a little wet. Yes, it's still a little wet, but I got it, a lot of water saturated in it. And I'll get some dark areas into the falls in here like that. Just some dark area. It's almost like a little glazy type of look to this. Okay, just not everywhere. Okay, but in certain spots. Maybe a nice little shadow coming down in here a little bit, like that. Just give a little depth to the falls themselves. Okay, that adds a little interesting little flavor to it. A little bit, maybe a little bit up in here. Same streakiness. Don't forget the streaks. Okay, not really overpowering. Just a little bit here and there. Okay, add a little body to it. There. Not ashamed to use my finger. I will use it in a hot minute if I had to. Okay. Trying to see if I got a little bit of white scraped off here. And I'll put some little bits of highlights just over the bend there, if I can get away with it. If not, it's all good. Oh yeah, I do have white. I need a little thicker white there. I just need to put it right over, just like that, just over the lip of the falls a little bit. Little brightness there, just like that, just over that lip a little bit, just like that. All right, all I needed to do was just that little bit. All right, now I think I'll sign my name to this and call it a day for this video. This video wasn't really too long. It's not too torturous. All right, I really appreciate it. I really do. And let's throw this in here like that. Put that 9 up there like that. All right, that's it. All right, let's remove the tape and see what we have here. Oh, forgive my head. I know my head's in the way right now. Okay, let's see what we got. We'll pull the camera back a little bit. I'm on the other side this time, so you should have a better view of this guy. If you would like to donate to the cause, I do have a PayPal link in the description below, and I do have one on the lower right hand side of the grayscale banner. All right, don't worry, I'll aim it downward, aim the camera down a little bit. I do have tape on the back of this that's trying to hold on. It's trying. Let's aim the camera down a little bit. Well, it's already down. I'll just zoom in and you guys can check it out. And there you have it. All right. Like I say, it's fairly quick. It's nothing too, but if you like woodland scenes and such, and very, very quick painting to do. Got your rocks, little high points on the rocks, a little off color that there. As you can see, if I take the light, shut it down, as you see, the blue isn't as abrupt as you think. It was just the light hitting it, but now with no light, it's just a natural light that's in here. You see the kind of the true color of it, as long as I get my hand out of the picture. But there you go. Nice little waterfall. You got some pine trees in the back. Looks like a couple hundred pine trees back there, and you got some up in here. You got the mist going on with the falls. Got the action going on with the falls. Got some nice movement going here. Got the depth of the trees. Got the trees all in the background. You got the bark in some of the trees back there. Very secluded looking spot. Left that spot open. Okay, everything still balances out. All right. Believe it or not, you got equal amount of light along with the dark, and the mist helps, so everything still balances out. All right, enough of me running my mouth. Very short video. I really hope you liked it, and let me know. Give a thumbs up if you appreciate. Give me a thumbs down if you don't appreciate. So let me know. Love to hear your feedback. I'll catch you when I catch you. Thank you very much, and peace.